So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. It's grand finals time. Nuks versus EnDerr, the rematch yet again. But this time it is gonna be Nuks coming in from the upper bracket. EnDerr, in the meantime, just deciding to flood his opponent with Ling after Ling after Ling, and winning out on the lower bracket right there. So it is high time to get in our grand finals, and this is gonna be a best of 5. But before we get into that, one more piece of love to our sponsors, RG Internet Cafe, Block 101 Hobbies, Pouchin, and their Bayagster, Stale Cookie, as well as Raigeki from community side, is brought to you by DLS Missile as well as Daks PH. So, it's gonna be time now to get into our map pool, and we've forgotten the bands, keeping the maps a mystery. Everdream LE will be first on the list. It is gonna be Golden Wall and Pillars of Gold banned out, and it is now time to get into the action. Seems like our players are very eager to be ready to go, and it seems like for Mizzle losing his connection there should be okay, so we can get into the game, no problem whatsoever. No worries about Mizzle. I gotcha, Mr. Mizzle. Can set up that second part into the next one in just a bit. But Everdream LE, we just saw this map a while ago. It's a very classic one. It really is the one that people are so comfortable with. And a Zerg versus Zerg like this, you know, we've seen Nuks and EnDerr face off against each other on this map, literally the match before, with Roaches and Ravagers versus Roaches and Ravagers. Nuks though able to eke it out, whipping out those mutas out of nowhere. And now it is going to be time for them to do battle yet again. This is the grand finals, ladies and gentlemen, of Quarantine number 4. And thank you guys for coming with us on this journey, as it's time for us to get into our conclusion. Who will be the champion? Which Zerg will it be? Is it going to be Nuks or will it be EnDerr? Let's find out in just a bit. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and it is now time to get into this game. Introducing first, on the top right of Everdream LE, it is the challenger. You'd be surprised for me to say that. It's our Blue Zerg looking to get his crown back, looking to get revenge from that upper bracket final defeat. It is him, EnDerr. And his opponent, here on the bottom left instead, it is gonna be the champion of the quarantined tournament, looking to really show that he is the best Zerg in the local scene and more. He's been working as hard as he can. He's been dedicating his craft and honing it. It is gonna be our red Zerg player, Nuks. So here we go again, guys. Another bout between our two players, and all I gotta say here is it seems like we're gonna get more standard play compared to that previous lower bracket final. And as we've seen before here in Everdream, Roaches and Ravagers gonna be into the cards sometime soon if things keep up this way. But for both EnDerr and Nuks, they are really crafty with their ways, with the Lings and the Banes, really trying to even up the odds as much as possible. On the other side though, when you go for the Roaches and the Ravagers, really does come for a standstill gameplay. EnDerr loves going for many Ravagers. He knows the utility of them, and he knows how effective they can be in pretty much any state of the game compared to the Roaches. On the other side, Nuks, very creative, whipping out those mutas after taking a pretty good lead overall. It felt like it was just a 52-48 advantage, and then Nuks was like, okay, I'll use the small advantage to basically surprise my opponent with a tech switch, to surprise my opponent with something he isn't going to be able to counter. And that was how he won out on the first go on this map. But now it is time to see if EnDerr has learned from his mistakes, and apparently we have gotten a little bit of something there from Mr. Mizzle, as it has been confirmed that whoever wins this one will be whoever, after the grand finals rather, we will have our announcement of whoever won that keyboard. So quickly just updating the stream title right there, and we are good to go to focus into the game. No more shenanigans, no more anything else. It's just two players and their craft and their play, then really trying to see who is the best Zerg yet again in the local scene. So trying to get on the way, and in the meantime giving chase, already going to be seeing a third base here from Nuks, trying to get all of that macro ongoing, and they're going to be doing the same. So it's same old right now from both of our players, and they're going to be going for the earlier Baneling Nest here. In the meantime, Nuks try and get that med block boost, and they're gonna be doing the same. It really goes to show how even this matchup can truly be. Now, as soon as EnDerr exposes his Banes, Nuks has to be very careful. But apparently, since Nuks isn't gonna be bothered with Baneling this, he is going straight into the Roaches. He's only on 1 gas right now, so it will give him enough income to get a few Roaches here and there. There's only 25 gas anyway. On the other side, it is going to be EnDerr doing the same, but since he's also only on 1 gas, those Banelings are going to be the ones taking that gas over it might be a little difficult for EnDerr because especially of that bailing nerf. In any case, Nuks just finds a little bit of that intel game again, and he is just rotating around the map as much as possible, trying to get on through to the other side, really hampering these drones as well as these queens. Good confusions though, courtesy of EnDerr keeping that one alive, but as we say that, oh no, it is going to be EnDerr just popping all of those links, and just popping out with the Bane. Something not though, unfortunately for him, he kind of just blockaded his own queen there. This is gonna be Nuks right now, looking to press the advantage, looking to do as much as he can. 31 to 30 workers, 17 to 14 army, pretty even both sides, but something to really note are these roaches. They'll be such a big game changer as soon as they pop out. Speaking of the pop though, EnDerr, if he can actually get rid of some of these Zerglings, it might really buy him some time to get out Roach Warren in behind. Also gonna be important if he gets Scout on, and I like how he's playing the aggressor right now, because as soon, oh my god, the Baneling's gonna get caught there! No, that is so unfortunate there for EnDerr. And he is gonna have 2 more Banes, but that was so cost effective for Nuks. He got the poke yet again. And this is what we saw earlier on here on this same map. He was able to get such a good poke onto the Banes. And now it is high time for these Zerglings to try and go for the push again. Zerglings still running on by onto the east side. And they're gonna be looking to go for the chase down. But in instances like this, it is gonna be high time for the interception. His third base being protected. In the meantime, here go to the west side as well for EnDerr. Main base right now, gonna have that engagement. EnDerr and Nuks fighting on the raft, fighting on the third. Gonna be meeting the roaches though. Beautiful positioning from Nuks right now to mitigate some of the damage from the surround. And these Banelings deciding to go somewhere else into the map. Will they actually make it through to the natural? Not gonna happen. Still though, the roaches will fall in the field of battle as EnDerr just has too many odds. And I do like how Nuks did try to keep them alive, but unfortunately that is definitely the hatchery they come out from. And there we go again with EnDerr really getting some good pokes onto the roaches. You'd think that these roaches might have the advantage in a scenario like this, but no sir. EnDerr with just solid movement, and he gets to push on to allow him to apply even more pressure with even more Banes. So here we go again. Warlings coming into the battlefield. It's really ZVZ time. It has been the biggest matchup in the PH scene as these Banelings are creeping on forward, trying to get the big connection. Still though, it's still too much HP on those roaches, but at the same time, it's getting a little bit of damage all throughout, spreading that evenly to allow these Zerglings to go for the cleanup. And can EnDerr actually get some value here? Nuks in the meantime looking to hold the line with these armored units, and EnDerr will go for surround on the queen and stealth, and that's gonna be another big one from EnDerr. He intercepts the retreat. He intercepts these roaches, and even the drone's gonna get brought into the battlefield. Nuks right now with his Spine Crawler out of the situation. It will still go down. EnDerr with absolute speed, killing his opponent as much as possible. But since the reinforcements have come, EnDerr is gonna be backing on out. What a shutdown from EnDerr so far, and now he is gonna be going for his Roach Warren. He's still keeping up the pressure though. Beautiful lane control from our top third player. And all I gotta say though real quick, it's gonna be high time for EnDerr and Nuks to go for the fight yet again. They are meeting each other in pitch combat. Here we go with the Banes right now, trying to get in behind. Gets a good plus on a few Zerglings there, and then really trying to get rid of the links as much as possible to allow these links of EnDerr to actually go for this round on the roaches. And the wings are sprouting, getting another good hit. Unfortunately here for Nuks, he doesn't have that speed, and EnDerr will take that first victory. This is the EnDerr show we've been looking for, and we are going to be going straight into our second map. What a showdown so far from EnDerr. He is able to get all the value in the world and more with just those links. And our second map has been confirmed. We are going to be getting into that one, and I believe the next map will be Submarine. Who is party leader though, real quick? Okay. We'll be making sure everything is fine and dandy. Who's party leader? Who is party leader? I think it's Mizzle. Mizzle, so reparty. I think it's Mizzle, so yeah, we are gonna have to reparty. It's unfortunate. Or is it me? I can't make a game. So I'll just invite these guys real quick into another one to get into our second map, which will be Submarine LE. So it is gonna be my show right now. To fix things up. Don't worry about that. So we'll just be working with the players as much as possible to get them into the games as quick as possible. But yeah, Submarine LE gonna be map pick number 2. A very small map to play in. Eternal After, I mean. Ayaw, ano ba? Oh, Eternal pa. Map 2. My bad. My bad. No. Okay. Tama. Okay. So Eternal will be map 3. We're still waiting on though for our party. Yeah, the Submarine. Okay, good. We're good to go. So these guys, there's no waiting. I just love letting them play out as much as possible. And their Nuks are ready to go. We are going for our second map, which is Submarine. And we are just going to be setting things up real quick onto the overlay to show you guys what is going on into this match. But there is no waiting. These two guys really just want to keep all their momentum as much as possible. And there we go. We are confirming our second map, which is Submarine LE. Smallest map in the pool. It's all about the aggression. It's all about who can actually get the outmaneuver. And there you go with Nuks. Just getting outmaneuvered right EnDerr. Beautiful surrounds onto the roaches. And without the reconstitution, without that move speed, it really goes to show those roaches are such easy targets to actually get an advantage on. But anyway, it's high time to get into our next map. And let's move in to Submarine LE. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go. Game number 2 coming our way. And the first thing when you look at Submarine, it really is a very different color palette from anything else. It is just so bright, and it is so different from anything in the first place. But it's high time right now to get into our matchup. So introducing first, on the bottom right, it will be the man ahead, the challenger, as we've said, EnDerr. And his opponents, here on the top left, the champion trying to go for the comeback. It is our red Zerg, Nuks. Now, while I did like Nuks and his roach play earlier on, unfortunately for him, it was just EnDerr getting the proper positions at the proper times. Even with the Baneling nerf, doesn't even matter to him, because he's just using that speed as much as possible. And for Nuks, since he's playing off creep, it really is going to be a lot harder for those roaches to get in position without that lair tech upgrade. So highly unfortunate there for Nuks, but now he's going to be going for that pool after the hatchery, and they're going to be doing the same. A lot of respect from these two players, and it is still all about playing the macro coming into this game. Solid start though to our series. I really love that first game. Really fun to see, especially seeing the Lynx actually just get one up against those roaches. You don't see that every day. In any case, EnDerr right now looking to go for more and more of that productions. Drone's gonna be into play as well. Spawning pool gonna be there as well. EnDerr in the meantime gonna be going over to the west side, meeting this hatchery perhaps. And yeah, Nuks on the other side with as much as he can in terms of his own production. Drones right now being built. And what is gonna be the plan here for this game? Now, looking for the history of EnDerr and Nuks, it really does turn into Ling Bane warfare. It turns into Roach Ravager warfare. I haven't really seen a game of theirs go into something into like Hive tech tiers. Now the thing about CPC though, you usually stay on those lower stacks. Like the biggest thing you kind of get are whatever spellcasters you want, and like Hydras and Lurkers. It isn't too common to really make it to that point into the game itself. So from my experience, that is, from what I've been able to watch and from what I've been able to cast in the SC scene. And in the case though, metabolic boost will be of course pretty much the bread and butter for any kind of Zerg player. And neither side are really playing the aggressor too much here. Now the thing about Submarine, as we said, it is the smallest map in the pool. It is very easy to run through the diagonal. But at the same time, it feels like for Nuks and EnDerr, they're going to be looking to get these 3 bases up and running. Nuks though with an earlier Baneling nest by just a little bit. So pretty much the same old thing yet again. It is going to be a mirror composition from both sides. And a while ago, on the upper bracket finals, on the semi-final for Nuks and EnDerr, it was Nuks actually getting the advantage with his own Banelings. And we saw a little bit of a glimpse like that early on in that first game. There was a point where Nuks just sent in 2 Zerglings and got 2 Banelings basically for free. So it really goes to show for Nuks, he just has a lot of good control also on his Lings, but EnDerr in the meantime proving his lethality with the creature. In any case though, we are gonna get those meta boosts online. And big shout outs to everyone who's still watching, even though it's Father's Day. If you guys are sharing the stream, especially with your dads, happy Father's Day. I haven't even been able to see my dad as of yet. I woke up, got lunch, and by that I mean I didn't really even get lunch. I got crackers, and I was good to go. From 2 PM onwards, we have been casting, we have been doing this. And these are gonna be the Lynx right now, and the Banes looking to hug each other and sing Kumbaya to keep each other warm. Now sticking on with Submarine, Nuks gonna be rotating on over to the southeast side, and in the meantime looking to just find a way to get the answer over. And well, for our blue Zerg, he just really wants to find an angle in the first place. Banelings right now gonna get more fun in. It's time to go for this round already onto the hatchery, and Nuks is gonna be looking very dire here for this hatch, but Nuks gonna be looking to respond instead. Baneling's gonna be there. And one big bomb gonna make a difference. And they're gonna be trading blows there with Nuks. 2 for 2 Banes yet again. Another even trade for the time being. I can really see the glow onto this map. But here comes Nuks right now with a big bulk of Banes. He has to be very careful. It seems like though Nuks is just getting in position to get rid of EnDerr's Banes in the long run. And here we go right now. Oh, it's still gonna be EnDerr with the advantage. 2 Banes versus 1. Here comes the Zerlings going for the brawl on the left hand side. And EnDerr able to come out ahead out of that one. You know, I, for one, am a very, very big fan of Ling Bane compositions. When I was a kid, I only built Zerglings as Zerg. Finished the campaign, basically, Zerglings and Mutas for both games with just that. And I've always loved these very fast critters, but EnDerr and Nuks have shown a lot of control with these units. Queen right now, though, might get surrounded, it's off creep, but then it's gonna be Nuks right now trying to go for a refresh cycle. Good hit there from the Bane. Can Daks get another one? And they're playing very, very carefully right now. Gonna be able to get the bust using 2 of those links, but still advantage here for Nuks. He has the bigger swarm trying to get on through, and they're in the meantime having his forces retreating back to his zone. Look at this, Nuks is already looking for a little bit more of that rotation, mainly so from EnDerr, trying to get protected by the Queen. Then get the shutdown there. Beautiful bomb bust there from EnDerr, and how the tables have turned. But Nuks, he's trying to get his own bending in the middle of everything. Will it get the catch on? Doesn't do so. And that is just EnDerr with the punish again. This is what we see from this Zerg player. He is the king of the jungle, not because he overwhelms his opponent from the get-go, but when the going gets tough, he just gets the better counter. And Nuks there just not getting onto the Baneling position just in time. Queen almost gonna fall. Here we go with the Banes right now, trying to get there again. Fusion is not gonna be enough. And right now with a big swarm, it is gonna be Nuks right now on the north side, still keeping things up as much as possible. +1 here from Nuks gonna be into the cards. But if this keeps up, I think EnDerr might be able to have this one in the bag very carefully. EnDerr will just lose 3 of those Zerglings there. Nuks in the meantime, trying to come up that ramp. Here we go with more and more of these Banes. And there we go with the acid right now. This time EnDerr is gonna be losing on that. Nuks with some good hits. Overall though, in behind all of this, EnDerr has gone for the tech switch. He has made the opportunity to allow him to go into Roach. He's still on hatch tech though, I believe, so there is going to be no reconstitution, so he really will need to work on that creep spread to begin with. In any case though, it's EnDerr still defending, trying to use these queens as baits, allowing the Zerglings to basically get this round on, but in the meantime, the Roaches right now, reinforcements have arrived, and this Queen survives with 33 HP. Here comes more and more of that trouble. The Baneling trying to get on through to get rid of the Zerglings, but it's not happening. Bust onto the Roaches, it's still not enough. Tankiness is truly there. And this time, it is going to be EnDerr using these Roaches to the best degree. Something note though for Nuks, his bases are connected by creep, so this might actually work out in his favor, because these Roaches still unupgraded. Though, catching out Nuks this time, and this is gonna be Queen hobbling away just to die. Good push here from EnDerr so far, pretty exciting stuff, as it is gonna be Nuks right now looking to set up on the ramp itself yet again. EnDerr coming closer and closer to this third base, and he is hungry for a potential 2-0 lead. He wants to get rid of his third base up and running already. Spinecrawler gonna be trying to build bits, but it isn't gonna happen anytime soon. EnDerr right now with his Roaches in the front line, and it's gonna be more Roaches for him. Baneling scrolling on forward just to get a takedown or 2, and it's gonna be high time to get the bust onto the Roaches instead. Gets the catch on the drone split transition, and GG is called. EnDerr is now 1 map away from a championship. EnDerr with a 2-0 lead, and it is gonna be him looking to not blow it whatsoever. We already got the third map confirmed, and we are gonna be getting into it, and it will be a more classic one, which will be the map that is Eternal Empire. So big kudos right there to EnDerr and Nuks, but in an instance like this, just absolutely well played from both sides, but EnDerr just with a better punish, with a better strength. And now we are going to be getting into game number 3, which is Eternal Empire, as we've said. Now, will we see that Link Banes? I think we are going to get a longer game coming into a bigger map. But it's just such the counterplay again from EnDerr, really making the difference in every shape and form. And here into map number 3, we are just going to be getting underway. 2-0 for EnDerr right now. 1 more for the championship. Will Nuks be able to get a map back, because he has had such a strong run so far against Bayagaster and EnDerr. But the fight isn't over yet. A reverse sweep is still a possibility. But it's EnDerr up by 2 as we are loading into Eternal Empire. All I gotta say though real quick as we are loading on in, big shouts one more time to our sponsors. RG Internet Cafe, Block 101 Hobbies, Pouchin, EnDerr, Bayagster, Stale Cookie, as well as a Rekeki, all helping on that. And let's get into the match, let's get into this game, and it is EnDerr now with a 2-0 lead. Is this gonna be execution time from EnDerr? He breezed through the lower bracket finals, and he is up by 2. Match point right here, right now, for the challenger. The best player in the Philippine scene for almost a full decade. It is gonna be our red Zerg, EnDerr. Part of the main event even of the DreamHack Summer 2020. Really goes to show he's such a big component of not only the local scene, but also in the region, and even in the international one. But his opponent, trying to make a splash for himself, the champion looking to hold on to his throne. He's down by 2 though, he's literally on the ropes, but if anyone can do it, it can't be this guy. It is our blue Zerg, Nuks! And will this just be the story of the quarantine tournament, especially on the Masters bracket? Is it gonna be EnDerr and Nuks just trading crowns from one turning to the next? It's gonna be the real question there, as it is gonna be high time for the hatchery to be built. Extractor gonna be there as well. Spawning pool gonna be next on the list. And in an instance like this, it is also gonna be EnDerr's time to go for his own pool. Now he does go for that pool first rather than hatchery, so it seems like he is gonna be looking to play that aggression over anything else. And maybe, just maybe, EnDerr can go for the swarm of lings yet again. It is gonna be a long distance though to get on through to the other side. Big sad though to Malapate. From my monitor is dead, your motherboard is dead. You know, it really is just all about doing tech repairs in a time of peril like this. But in any case, it's looking to be macro focus here from Nuks. He's gonna have his pool up and running very soon. Meantime, EnDerr though, earlier on the meta, and I really wouldn't be surprised to see him really swarm up those lings and really put in the pressure against his opponents. In any case, EnDerr right now, going over to the east side, Metabolic Boost is going to be into the cards right here, right now. And it's going to be the Overlord just floating on into the Praise. Nuks though, still kind of unaware of what is going on. I think he has an idea that there are links coming his way, and he will be having his own links at the proper time. And though trying to hide a few things here and there, wants to let Nuks actually get on through the other side. But it seems like for Nuks, he has a little bit of an idea what's going on. The hatchery is not done as of yet, and he's going to be hanging on back with more of reinforcements. The 4 Zerglings versus 6, I believe. And though getting backing on that after getting that first pick off. So that Metabolic Boost is going to be into the cards very soon. But for Nuks, if he's able to catch EnDerr many times like this, the Meta Boost will be really going to waste, as he does want to go for a run-on bite to allow himself to penetrate into that middle line. Eventually though, Nuks feels like something is going to be coming his way, and he is going to be going for that Beanie Nest instead. Good read there from Nuks so far, playing into his build as well. It really goes to show that one Extractor right now, getting a little bit of gas to allow him to get those morphs on, as it is going to be EnDerr focusing more and more onto the links itself, as he has only one drone inside that Extractor. And in the case though, since it is going to be time for one drone on one gas, it's Roach Warrens here, and now EnDerr though having to deal with Nuks and his awareness. Goes for the macro, sets up these Evo Chambers to set up that wall. Very cost-effective structure, just gets in the way, and Nuks is going to be able to save himself for the time being. Queen's right now going to be into the front line. Here we go now with Nuks having Banelings in behind. And if this is going to be the beginning of the comeback here for Nuks, that defense will basically be the one that heralds his comeback. In any case though, EnDerr and Nuks still going for the chase now, looking for a little bit of a takedown here and now. And really, for EnDerr, just wants to make sure he can do all he can and more. Nuks though hanging on in behind. And on the west side, literally trying to do all he can in the first place. The chase is on though, and they're going to be looking to bring more and more into the battlefield. In the meantime, it is going to be high time for Nuks to go for his own swarm. Good penetration though. That's getting surround onto the queens. And EnDerr might not have enough to actually deal with this. Nuks going for the run on by, not going for the brawl against the Zerglings. And into the main middle line we go. No, it's a natural instead, getting hampered. Drones though hiding into the middle lines again. Looking to do all they can and more, but for EnDerr, he has a big gap right there. Opened on up. 3 drones have gone down. Advantage here for Nuks so far, I believe, as he is just going to be able to run on away with whatever he still has into this one. All tied up. Numbers apparently in favor of EnDerr for just a little bit. But in terms of tech, I do like how Nuks is positioned. He has his Baneling Nest, he has these 2 Evo Chambers. And I feel like for him, he was very successful at getting a pretty good surround onto those queens. And that's where I believe that Nuks is going to be able to pull ahead from. Having queens in the first place allows you to get those creep tumors, allows you to get those larvas. Very, very good defensive units with the transfusion as well. And since EnDerr lost too, it's gonna be a little harder for him to get those egg cycles on. Now EnDerr is very ambitious. He is gonna go for this third base, and he is confident that these roaches are gonna be able to hold. You can really see though that he does have a good understanding of the game, because so far though he is gonna be looking for that Ravager instead. What a bait and switch there from EnDerr. This is why you don't question a pro player, guys, because even though that hatchery was kinda little light, okay, there are literally points in front of you. Are you still gonna do this? He is like, no. I got this, mates. I got this, man. And he has just shown that he really just understands how well to play this game. In any case though, thank you guys for tuning on into the Quarantine Tournament, and we are kinda on match point by this point. If EnDerr takes this, we are done with our games. If not, Nuks is gonna be forcing out the map number 4, but here comes Nuks yet again, looking for the penetration, trying to get in through to the main base. Something to note though, there is literally nothing here for EnDerr, and he literally just gets back the queen just for it to die. Good surround again on the queen, gets a larva check in time though. EnDerr right now gonna be going for the brawl, but at the same time it's a run on by from EnDerr onto Nuks' side as well. Now it is gonna be still EnDerr looking to protect everything here by the extractor, and 8 of these drones have gone down. Even though Nuks was able to get in position, EnDerr still coming out worse, coming out better right there. Something to note though, 3 bases right now here for Nuks. EnDerr in the meantime getting his third base up and running as well. Work out pretty even, and what a match this has been so far. A little bit of variance, a little bit of different timings, but in the end we are back to square one as both of our players are all evened up in this regard. Quick hands, quick trigger fingers, and quick gameplay in this CVC. Nuks though gonna be looking to retreat and regroup. Make sure this third base is safe and sound to the best degree. On the other side though, what is gonna be EnDerr up to? Still has that main base which basically has nothing. It really is this natural having all of those things instead. And something to note though, he's not going on lair tech as of yet. It is gonna be Nuks going ahead with this one. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get that Gillier Constitution to allow him to get that movement speed for those roaches. But I'd love to see something a little different from both of our players, but that is what CBZ is all about. Play to your basics, play to your standards, and play to the core unit compositions. The low into this one is going to be EnDerr right now, setting up this third base. He's going for that lair tech onto the main. The Evo chambers are right beside each other, and both of them already have that +1. So this is going to be that Roach Ravager comp that we have seen earlier on in the previous bouts on Everdream. In any case though, Smackdown on the Spine Crawler, that's going to be a good shutdown here. EnDerr already with a proper concave to really allow him some good positioning onto this third base. Now for Nuks, he's off creep, so isn't really going to be able to get the movement speed that he wants. EnDerr though, in the meantime, putting the Ravagers behind his composition instead, as that is going to be turned about being fair play. Nuks though, still surviving, but EnDerr right now with more and more of these circles to get in position. But overall, it is going to be EnDerr going for a pretty good strike on the economy. Nuks losing 11 drones already into that engagement, and EnDerr in the meantime trying to go for more and more drones in behind. Still though for EnDerr, unable to really clean up Nuks' army. All I gotta say though for EnDerr is really liking to play this aggression to a pretty good degree. But something to note though, EnDerr might be in a little bit of trouble here. Even though the worker count has been evened up, EnDerr still is behind onto the army side instead. He is going for that +2, and he has to be very, very careful not to overdrawn as soon as Nuks decides to go for his push. So though, even army counts, even worker counts rather, I'm really, really worried about that army count. Keep an eye out on the larva here for EnDerr. How many does he have in the first place? He has 4 of them. Let's try and turn it around. No, never mind. He has 10 ready to go. And it is going to be high time for the interception there. Looking to get in position, looking to do all he can. And this is just going to be Nuks hanging around with these roaches. Feels like there for Nuks, he really just wants to protect his base as much as possible. He's kind of afraid that EnDerr is actually all the way in the lead, but he does have a lot of vision right now going on. Good stations here for the Overlords to see the transitions to get a good reaction overall. +2 though, as well as that movement speed coming online. And I feel like for EnDerr, as he's getting this 4th extractor, he's feeling very, very secure of his position, even though we do have 6 of these extractors actually coming online for both sides. So EnDerr only getting that 6th extractor by this point means that he isn't going to have enough gas to really focus too heavily on Ravagers compared to the previous game. 31 of these rotates, 33 actually, from Nuks going to be finally mobilizing on out. EnDerr in the meantime though, again with the run by, wants to go for that base and wants to get the Civilian Queen first and foremost, pull ready from the drone. The Zergling's trying to get on through. That's going to be a good cleanup there from Nuks, saving those drones from a grimly demise. Speaking of the Grimly Demise though, here comes Nuks right now with a big bulk. Roach is though in position, and they're making sure he has that high ground concave so he can really get rid of these units in the first place. Now EnDerr has to make a decision, what will be sacrificing? It seems like though this is gonna be Nuks caught in the middle, but EnDerr trying to go for a fight on both fronts. Focus fire though onto the weaker end. It is gonna be EnDerr right now cleaning up on the south side, but Nuks in the meantime with overwhelming odds from the northeast instead. And EnDerr has to back on off just a little bit. He's trying to survive as much as possible. He's waiting on for his +2 to go online, but he needs to make sure these units do survive. Here we go yet again with more and more of these roaches. Nuks gonna be backing on that because in 10 seconds it is gonna be EnDerr right now getting his own +2 up and running. And what's a battle there. Nuks though, I feel that Strike Force in the middle getting caught out like that, highly unfortunate for him, losing a big chunk. But it really goes to show EnDerr just playing with the map as much as possible. +2 though is online as well as the +1 here for the Carapace, and EnDerr really backing punch out of nowhere. Can Nuks hold the line enough to really take advantage of his own +2? It seems like it is going to be ready to go, and it is going to be time for these roaches to go for the brawl yet again. Acid being spooned as much as possible. Zergling's going to be out in front one more time, and it is time for EnDerr to do the same thing Nuks did earlier on. He has got a spy here, ladies and gentlemen. He has gotten the flyers, and can he actually get the punish on a map that really suits these mutas? What the match has been so far, but keep an eye out on these mutas. This has to be a responsibility from Nuks, and compared to on every dream in that upper bracket final, it's a Hydrogen coming in from our blue Zerg. So EnDerr isn't going to be able to get the GG push here whatsoever. He is going to be looking for a few strategies here and there though, and he has taken the lead on the army counts. Meantime though, Nuks going to be looking for an aggressive expansion on the low ground, but EnDerr is playing it safe defensively on the high ground instead. Just trying to stay away from his opponent. He wants to make sure he does have a good mutable. But for Nuks, that Hydrogen gonna be something to really add up to this equation. The two best Zergs in the scene facing off, and this is exactly what you would expect. A high caliber game, pretty evenly matched, especially for our local side. It's gonna be EnDerr right now, looking to grab just a little more even into this one. Going for many shots as possible, and it's gonna be the roaches right now, looking to go for the concave again. Hatchery gonna be in position one more time. Nuks in the meantime gonna be losing this space, but he is gonna be trying his best to bring in more and more of these units. Here we go yet again, EnDerr and Nuks going for the ball. GG is gone, and we are gonna have the champion. The Mutalist difference makes it happen, and EnDerr reclaims the crown, and not only qualifies for the main event for the DreamHack Summer 2020 for the ANZ SCA region, but also is the champion of the Masters Plus bracket for Quarantined number 4. So there you have it, ladies and gents. We are just gonna see a new champion crown, but it is pretty much the expected result by many. EnDerr with a very well-deserved victory. GG, well played. Unless Mr. Mizzle wants anything with the other players, then all I gotta say, congrats to EnDerr. Congrats to EnDerr. Really well played in that bout. And hey, a 3-0 sweep is the best way to really up your confidence to do the best you can. And all I gotta say for EnDerr, it really just goes to show how experienced he can be. He was playing against some of the best in the region earlier on, and now he is just securing his crown, even though Nuks did a really impressive effort, especially on that semifinal against him earlier on. It is still the experience there of EnDerr, allowing him to prove superior, and what counterplay he did on these 3 maps. So GG, well played, absolute kudos there to EnDerr, winning that one out. Nuks with a very well-deserved grand final. And all I gotta say real quick is, it is an amazing time, to say the least, for our game. Now, we'll be looking really quick to see what we are getting, but will we actually get the announcements? Will be announcements for our keyboard. So we will be right back real quick, guys. We'll just be talking about the admins, and I believe we'll be getting some exit interviews from our finalists as well. Stay tuned, stick around. This is the SCPH Quarantine Tournament number 4. So welcome back, guys, and we have our two finalists here, our champion EnDerr and our runner-up Nuks. How are you guys doing after a afternoon full of StarCraft?
Um, Doing good.
What a great start. Okay, chill out. Tayo-tayo lang naman. PSPH community, this is it. DreamHack ESL. Congratulations, by the way, second place in your group. That you make it to the main event. But also congratulations to you. To start with EnDerr. Congratulations for winning this one out. So, how did you do it? You lost that 0-2 in the upper band finals, but moving into the grand finals, it was like very clean 3-0. How do you adjust your game?
Siguro hindi ko na lang inisip yung nangyari sa last series, tapos nag-focus na lang ako doon sa championship
Parang also
match.
was super decisive against Bayagster. You were like, Zerglings win, and then moved into the grand finals. It was really impressive. And all I gotta say is, between you and Nuks, you guys are really at the top of your game. You guys are really always at, well, the finals in the first place for a reason, because you really are the best players in the scene. But what do you think allows you to get the edge, especially in this scenario? What allowed you to get the edge against Nuks for this tournament?
Um, like, yun nga, napagkasunduan kasi namin ni Nox na ako daw muna yung So, yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Toss coin, toss coin. Kaya pala parang, Nuks and then EnDerr, and then Nuks and then EnDerr. Tama. It was really, we already expect really good games from you guys together. Parang, when we see EnDerr versus Nuks, it is very decisive. If something happens that messes things up, that is GG, no matter what. If it happens to you, Mr. EnDerr, that's GG for you. If it happens to Mr. Nuks, it's pretty much how it is, and we saw that in multiple maps. Now, coming into that finals, what was like the hardest match for you to play into that? We had 3 maps, and where do you think where you could have like lost out against Mr. Nux there?
I think yung last game, I almost lost then. Kasi hindi nag-work yung push ko sa third niya eh, so I thought I was behind. Yun.
Oh yeah, no. That's what I mean. Okay,
Actually,
go ahead.
nireview ko lang yung replay kasi feeling ko rin ahead ako. Nagulat lang ako biglang may muta na lang siya sa dulo. So parang naisip ko paano ako naging sobrang behind dun. Noon pala, yung run by dun sa main ko, nakapatay yata ng mga 10 drones. So, kung na-defend ko lang yun or if na-wall ko ng maayos, feeling ko ahead na head na ako sa game na yun. Pero yun nga, yun yung explanation ba't ako sobrang, ba't ako natalo dun.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a difference because you can make a spire there, and you got your Hydra a little later. You can get that you can get the resources, and we were looking at the worker count, right? And it's like, okay, these guys are uneven because what EnDerr is doing, he's just always getting a few picks there. It doesn't matter that he's behind. Tapos yun nga, yung pushed on from the big roach push. So actually, let's move it over to Nux. So again, congratulations, you're a runner-up this time, but you had such a good run beating both EnDerr and Bayagster, especially in before that grand finals. Parang, how did you like have the edge coming into that last match?
Wait. So yung first series ba namin or yung
Yeah,
last?
yung first series. After like that first series, parang how did you paano mo naunahan si EnDerr then?
Well, yung first series parang siyempre kalaban mo si EnDerr so, hindi gano'n kaganda yung mindset ko going to it. So, wala tinry ko lang yung best ko. Medyo close talaga yung first game nun like, um, may mga times na ahead ako tapos parang hindi ko lang kinapitalize. Like ahead na ahead chineck ko yung replay siguro ahead ako ng mga 30 army supply ta's hindi
Yeah.
ako pumush mga gano'n. So, naka-comeback siya. Pero nung nanalo ako parang, okey, so cheese na lang tayo sa next game.
Unexpected yung
Ang
cheese
lakas nga
mo.
eh. Ang lakas ng cheese eh. Kala ko, I honestly, when it was there, I was like, oh, is that a Queen's Fusion? Apparently, it was just a health bar. But even though, yung positioning, diba? It's like, it was so good. You put the spine colors at the outermost layer. You had enough to harass them from the main mineral line. So it basically covers that natural as well. And even though EnDerr got one pick off and on the spine, it still wasn't enough. Tapos yung sa Evergreen Pie was really exciting. You were the one who pulled that muta trick. And parang in a matchup like that, I do wanna ask you guys, when do you actually transition? I'm not a Zerg player. When do you transition from Roach Ravager to be like, okay, this is taking forever. Who will bring out the Muta first?
Um, Actually, hindi siya gano'n kaganda if even kayo.
Hmm.
Kasi if, for sure ang mangyayari sa'yo 'pag even kayo, magma-max out siya sa Roach ta's
Mm-mm.
ikaw may Muta ka, pero hindi siya gano'n kalakas pumatay, so mapapatay ka sa ground.
Yeah.
In that case, parang medyo ahead kasi ako ng onti, so gumana yung Muta. Feeling ko dun gumagana yung Muta, pero if even lang kayo talagang mahirap siya gumana kasi usually magta-transition na to Hydra yung Roach player, eh.
Yeah, because you have the upgrades. And yun nga eh, like we saw in Evergym, we always noticed Nux was a little bit ahead, and that was kind of the case there. But then moving on to the grand finals na, and I do want to talk a little bit more on Eternal Empire. So you had like 100 army with your roaches, and EnDerr had like around 60. That was your really big push on his third. Where do you feel like it went wrong in a way? How do you feel like how do you feel like, because EnDerr was able to defend it after you kind of got your roaches split? Where do you think where do you think that it kind of faltered, even though you had a pretty big lead with the Roach Cow?
So, ang nangyari dun, na-separate yung roaches ko, may pumunta sa kabilang entrance.
Yeah.
Tapos, malakas yung spine crawler ni EnDerr dun, sobrang daming damage na ginawa nun.
Mhm.
So, feeling ko like dun ako natalo. Kung ginawa ko na lang nag-push ako sa isang side, like sa natural ramp na hindi ako nakita, baka mas maganda yun. So, I think yung spine crawler pati yung na-separate yung army ko, dun ako natalo.
Yeah. Parang pag nasi-split talaga, when you hit your army split, it's just a little too much to handle. But hey, you guys are always in the top two. And though going on the history, since it is EnDerr winning out the even ones, and when we get into QT5, I'm very expecting you to win for our odd count. Pero I have a question. How do you guys prepare against one another? Let's start with Nux. How do you prepare for like these local tournaments? How do you prepare for like regional tournaments that you do afterwards?
Well, mostly ladder lang naman talaga. Minsan nagko-customs ako with mga, C players or Australian players, pero hindi siya gano'n kadalas. More of ladder lang talaga.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Ender?
Same lang naman. Nagla-ladder lang din and then customs.
Okay. Mabuti naman, you guys are prepared in a way. Kala ko naman before every local tournament, tipong, tara, scrim tayo, tara. Okay, ito gagawin ko, ito gagawin mo. Heads and tails nga. Pero it really is, it's always a good competition between you two. The score kind of lies to itself because there are times where Nux wins, there are times that EnDerr wins, and I think it's a very specific matchup that, since you guys know each other for how long already? Like, how long do you guys know each other?
Ever since 2010.
Oo, ngayon, mag 10 years na. Naalam na yung playstyle ng isa't isa. And it's always been me. You're I think the first person who would always get an answer against EnDerr by this point is Mr. Nux, and it really is just great to see you guys supporting the scene, doing all you can, enjoying, and winning these out for sure. So we support you, we support us, and giving us some really great games. And I'm glad to see you guys back in action, back in the form, especially Mr. Ender. Actually, also Mr. Nux winning out those yung mga Audai and all the like, yung mga regionals, and they're making it to the DreamHack one. So I can't wait to see what is in store for both of you. So, ikaw, Mizzle, any other questions?
One question lang for both of them. Natanong mo kanina kung how they prepare sa fight nila. Pero for the players na nanonood ngayon, yung mga lower ranks, how do you guys practice? Ano yung tips niyo sa mga kaka-start lang and maliban sa mag-ladder and stuff, what do you...
Sige, ako na lang muna. Kung, Terran or Protoss ka, very important yung build orders, like kailangan, before ka mag-ladder or something, mag-custom ka muna, i-try mo yung build order. Tapos dapat parang may benchmark ka na, kailangan ma-hit ko 'tong timing na 'to, kailangan at 4:30 andito na yung adepts ko, ganyan. 'Pag Zerg naman, I guess mechanics lang talaga. Like if bago ka lang sa Zerg, important na sobrang solid ng mechanics mo kasi even if may strategy ka, if hindi mo ma-execute yung mga injects, yung mga creep spread, talagang hindi hindi pa rin gagana talaga 'yan. So 'yun, build orders and mechanics.
Good answer. It's a really good answer. I've seen people with Excel sheets that like. How about you, Ender?
Well, for me naman, yung sinabi ni Nuks plus siguro mass games and um, watch pro gamer videos para hindi lang kayo laro ng laro, meron kayong something in mind na gustong gayahin, gano'n.
Good answers. Yeah, Mizzle, anything else? Those are great answers. You just need to practice. You need to understand what to actually do. And especially, like Nuck said, Terran Protoss, if you get those proper build orders, you can have proper timings. It does make a big difference, in all honesty.
One last. What should we expect in dalawa? So we see finally EnDerr is back sa tournaments. What else should we expect this year for both players?
Yeah, parang ano yung future plans niyo, guys? For StarCraft.
If kasi hindi pa set yung schedule ko for for internship or for my studies. So sana if may time pa ako sana mag-qualify ako sa second ESL.
Ooh.
So yun lang naman yung pinaghahandaan ko if ever may time pa ako by that time.
As for me,
Hmm?
since may pandemic, siguro mag-ito lang muna ako. And ang priority ko kasi major tournaments eh. So, hindi ako masyado sumasalid sa international tournaments na low cups. And tapos, ladder.
Hi, guys.
Thank you so much.
It's big inspiration. Thank you guys for your time, and at least you guys are capitalizing on what's going on in the world right now. Coming back to your roots. I know education is very important for both Nux and Ender, as well as what their future plans into real careers and all the like. And it's just really great to have them both here now for not only the local scene but in and around StarCraft too, because they are really some of the best we've had in a long, long time. They're really some of the best that we can rely on to represent the country, as seen from SEA Games, as seen right now from different accomplishments on both sides. And hey, it's just great to have some really good Zerg players in our region. Now, the floor is all yours, guys. Anyone you want to shout out, you can start with Mr. Ender, and then we can move on to Mr. Nux. Anyone you want to call to, or anything you want to plug, like your streams.
Siguro mag-thank you lang ako sa team, Liab, and sa SCPH community. Yeah.
Okay? How about you, Nux?
Shoutout lang naman sa StarCraft community at saka kay 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 Pobs, kay Paolo Poblador. Nababalik na sa SC2 next week. Next QT sasali na
Ay,
yan sa
sumali na siya.
sa
Sumali na
Masters.
siya. Sa Masters. Ooh. It's the return of the comeback. Everyone is coming back. And since these two refuse to basically sell themselves out, I'm just gonna say real quick that if you guys want to learn from the best of the PH region, you just gotta check out their streams.
Hindi
Yeah,
lang kayo laro ng laro, meron kayong something in mind na gustong gayahin, gano'n.
check their streams out. They always post it on the PH ones. They're always so good at making sure that the community is able to see their games. For Nux, I like his stream because he's always very analytical. He looks into the replays like he just did right now, right? He's like, okay, oh, this is where I did wrong. Oh, this is what he did wrong. This is what I do right. And in the meantime, Korea grind is always great to see. It's like, okay, this is gonna be really, really hard. So it really is like different kind of thinkings, different kind of content. And since I already paved the way for you guys, please plug your streams. What are your Twitch links?
Twitch.tv/Nuks tapos tatlong S yung dulo. So NUKSSS.
How about you, Ender?
Sa akin, EnDerr PH, tapos dalawa yung R. Tapos, yung Facebook, EnDerr Gaming.
And then yun nga, guys, if you want to see their streams and see more of this content, please join our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/StarCraftPH. It is just down below. You can use the commands to get back to the community, and of course the page is facebook.com/PHStarCraft for all the announcements. So thank you to our two Zerg players. Thank you to our two finalists. Congratulations to EnDerr for the championship. Expecting Nux to win for the next one because it is the odd numbered one. And we can wrap things up. Thank you guys for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we got one last thing, Mr. Mizzle, to handle, and it is gonna be the final announcement of our keyboard winner. So Mizzle has made sure all our rallies, all our tallies have been eligible, and it is gonna be high time to announce who is the victor. And we have gotten it. Drum roll, please, from myself. And it will be. Do I just say the Facebook name? I'm just gonna say the Facebook name. Who is
Yeah.
this one? It is Tristan Lorenzo Sabido. So calling to Tristan Lorenzo Sabido, you are our winner, courtesy of Pouchin Gaming. Really appreciate everyone who has participated in the giveaway. And I think I've seen this name before. Who is this in the SCPH scene?
It's your friend in Facebook, I saw.
Oh man, parang very very familiar. It is. I really can't remember. It's on the tip of my tongue, but all I gotta say is big shout out to Tristan. He is able to win things out very very well played. I think this is about not I can't I really can't remember, but in any case, we already know that he is a big member of the StarCraft scene. So big kudos to him. We'll be announcing this on Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
We'll
be
do that.
announcing and tagging him down as soon as possible. And big congratulations to him in the first place. Very, very well done. Very, very well played. And thank you to everyone who basically helped out in sharing our giveaway, sharing our stream, and catching the SCPH action. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is high time to call it quits. It's been a great afternoon of StarCraft action, and we are going to be calling it tonight's. Our winner this time for quarantine number 4 is EnDerr dethroning Nuks, and it seems like the cycle repeats. Will anyone be able to topple our 2 Zerg Titans, or will we be getting the same old results in the next one? We'll find out in our next edition of the quarantine tournament. Congratulations to our champions, Xenos as well as EnDerr, for the gold to diamond as well as the Masters Plus bracket respectively. And really well played to everyone who has participated. We'll see you guys next time in our next SCPH quarantine tournament. Stay tuned. Stick around for another local tournament happening your way very, very soon. But it is time for us to say goodnight, time for us to say goodbye. And all I gotta say is have a great dinner and have a great Father's Day.